The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host. As always, we like to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So we're up 5 points on the S&P cash, 22 on the Dow, NASDAQ's up 17, the Russell's up 3. What we don't have is any real gusto, just a hair under 4 billion shares as we start the show. And of course, a little bit of juice, I suspect, in the market is coming from the dollar index being down 42, 43 cents, something like that. 96.31 on the last tick. And that's adding a little bit of juice to gold and other industrial metals, that kind of stuff. I thought maybe we're going to get one more push up on the dollar. Didn't get it, but certainly there's, I guess, a flight to anything that's solid at these levels. Not a lot of push to actually go into higher prices. Everybody kind of just doing a dare on these higher prices because there's not a lot of energy, not a lot of volume. We'll look at a lot of charts again today showing you that we're just stacking up here. Now, there is a phenomena of just holding at highs and then eventually breaking them. But we haven't gotten there yet. We spent another couple of days up here just fooling around, no volume. Maybe we get a spike. If that spike then instantly gets sold, you've got some kind of probably fairly large midterm top in the market. If we could fail here, pull back on light volume, you could get set up for a fairly decent rally. This market is incredibly tired. And right now, everybody's just assuming that they'll sell at some level above. But they were really not thinking about it much. In fact, when we look at options, in fact, why don't we go ahead and pull that up? As we go into options for, oh, I got to actually turn that back because we had an extra day off. There it is. When we look at options, let's zoom in here a little bit. You know, we're like, what, 278 on the SPYs. Till you actually get to about, I want to call it about 292, there isn't actually a lot of money that's going to be made in the SPY options that are right now through the expiration on March 15th. But what's more impressive to me is that we're kind of fairly close to the high end out here, but literally no one wants a lot of downside risk either in this option market, all the way to almost 200. So this is one of these things where, man, you really see the big men of Wall Street. They think maybe there's a little bit more money to the upside, but not really worried about it until about 285, 290, somewhere in there. But man, they have zero appetite for any risk to the downside, as they're expecting, who knows what it is. Meteor shower that ends the world, The Walking Dead, whatever it is. This continues a second, almost a third month of zero appetite for risk in the option market, which has become rather thin, at least in my opinion. Anyway, today and tomorrow are options rollover days. So it's not uncommon to see a lot of pushing one way or the other. But what we have today is not really a push anywhere. Light volume, not much going on. And again, just very light and variable trading in a lot of these stocks. Like I said, we've got a lot of them we can look at today. We'll see what's happening. They certainly didn't have the volume on Friday, and the S&P being up 5 points today. Kind of opened up, 10, 11 points lower, and that was about it for the day. Anyway, let's do a little history, and then we'll get into charts in the first segment. You can certainly give me a call at 877-927-6648.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating, and on this day in 1942, President Roosevelt signs Executive Order 9066, authorizing the removal of any or all people from the military areas as deemed by necessary or desirable by the military. The military, in turn, defined the entire West Coast home to the majority of Americans of Japanese ancestry or citizenship as a military area. By June, more than 110,000 Japanese Americans were relocated to remote government intern camps built by the U.S. military in scattered locations around the country. So, not a great thing. In 1988, Ronald Reagan actually signed a bill to give them, any of them that went to the internment camps, $20,000. Not much, but everybody wants to think Roosevelt was a great president. I'm one of those guys that just does not think he was much of anything, even in the war. But you get around who there's an old saying that you can't, you go to war with the military you've got, not the one you want. And I think we went to war with the president we had, probably not the president we needed. But just my opinion. Anyway, anything else going on out there, make sure and give me a call at 877-927-6648. The stock that gets the loser horn today is, gotta get it out here, is Tile Shop Holdings, TTS. Guess I better bring a chart up on that. Again, any of these folks in the building trades all have the possibility of doing a header off the 10th floor. Certainly Tile Shop did that today. It's down 15%. Their earnings out before the bell, not all that exciting. On the positive side, Walmart actually looks like it may be at least somewhat a competitor to Amazon. We'll talk about that more when we return. But decent sales numbers, in fact, the best sales numbers they've had in 10 years. So basically, we've got a very few getting all the business. I always wanted to get all the business. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we're back. Wanted to take a quick look at Amazon. It actually opened up a little lower. It's up a little higher today, but just a hair under 1630. But just going sideways, not really any kind of energy in this. 2.5 million shares so far. That compares to the 4.3 and change million shares on Friday. Let's see. Okay. Wanted to do a couple of things. So let's get this out of the way. Other things going on. One of the things that always tends to make you go hum is when the biggest moves in stocks are in the very small end of the market. We don't have Twisted Sister here, but we do have Riot Blockchain, who is the big mover today. On the upside, if you want to look at Tile Shop as the loser. Again, these blockchain things are massively shorted, so you have to watch out. Got to 425, 424 today. It's now at 375, still up $1.30, up 52%. But of course, what was it, 80% earlier in the day? And this is just on them getting a new CEO. So I don't know if there's anything in here other than the fact that massive amount of people are always bet on these penny stocks going totally broke. And it seems like they hang on like a 6-year-old's tooth for a week that won't let you pull it out, won't let you put a string on it. That's it. So we've got that. That's one of them. But it's all these small biotech stocks. Let's take a quick look at this one. ORPN, which is another one. It was up 45% earlier today, but gave it all back. And this is really at the top of the market a lot of times what you will see. And that is huge volume in these penny stocks. IDEX, another one. IDEX. These things have been basically blown away, and they all seem to start barking. All the dogs seem to bark at the same time. And again, these aren't stocks I'm going to recommend you getting in. Just the fact they run a lot of the shorts all the way out and then give up all of it or part of it. And within a handful of days, a fairly good sign that a very medium top or even longer term top in the markets are in is when these things give it all up almost instantaneously. What else do we have out here? Superior Energy Services, SPN. Take a quick look at that. Another one that bounced fairly hard. In fact, there's a lot of them like that. A lot of other stocks, small caps actually, on the downside too. One that you don't think of having that kind of movement is Del Monte, the fruit company. But this thing took a walloping on earnings today, down to 29.03. Now, this is the one where you find out that everybody that was in the trade before they came in this morning got wiped out. In fact, it takes you back to the 3rd of January on FDP. Not exactly sure. Let's see if there's any info on this one, FDP, other than the news. That's it. I mean, the earnings. Just brutal. They're in Coral Gables. I did not know that. They're over there by Steve Rhodes. Maybe Steve Rhodes knows some of these folks. Okay. Nothing new out here that I see other than just disappointing earnings on this. Let's go a few more back so I can get what's going on. Now we're up 7.5 points on the S&P cash. So we'll keep an eye on that. What else do I have? Okay. Anyway, just looking at that. But anyway, keep an eye on a lot of these, because generally when you start seeing these things, if they start running and hold their highs, then generally you have a few days. Generally, if they all spike and then instantly give it up, you want to really be careful and have close stops, because generally that's when markets start turning on you. But we'll keep an eye on it. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Okay. I'm just keeping an eye on this to see if there's any volume really coming in. 4.15 billion shares. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some of the ones I wanted to look at. We still have a couple of minutes on this one. ABM Industries has come off the $25.64 low on December 17th. Got up to 36.49 today with 1.7 million shares so far. This goes back into the gap down in March 15th of 2.5 million shares. But again, you're right to the point where you should get pretty much maximum resistance in these stocks. So keep an eye on that. Up 8 points on the S&P cash. Okay, what else do we have? ACI Worldwide. ACIW is the symbol on this. Breaking through the 3 million share high, which was the November 9th, $30.25. It got up to it with 637,000 shares on Friday. Today, just 270,000 shares. And again, this is kind of what I'm seeing all over the market, and that is, yes, we're going a little higher on some of these, but a lot of them have already started to turn down a little bit. Adobe was one of those that we looked at on Friday, December 3rd high, $260.72, 4.3 million shares, got into it with less than 2 million shares on the 13th. You've kind of gone sideways over here. Light volume, but you are continuing to pull back. Autodesk, another one of the big tech companies who's hanging at its high, and this is 159.94. The August 27th high, 8.5 million shares got into it with 1.4 million shares, 1.5 million shares on Friday. You really don't have that much, certainly a whole lot less. Energy off the low was a little better than Adobe, but still problematic. When we get back, we'll talk about biotechs, and they're sending out a signal. Maybe an SOS? Maybe that would be a bad police song from the 80s. Didn't think it was a great song. It's an okay song, or was it a bad song? I don't know. Be back in a minute. We'll discuss that and many things else.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back, just kind of floating around up here about 8.5 points higher on the S&P cash. Again, wanting to see if maybe the shorts blink and we get a lot of volume. Right now, kind of a light volume, but we've had that about, I guess, since last Wednesday, about 7 billion shares on the total CBOE consolidated volume. So, 2.2 billion shares now is nothing to write home about. Even on Friday with options expiration, probably should have had a little bit more. It's just very light volume. And we do have a question come in, and that is, how long have I seen volume be on the wrong side of the market. And probably the worst one I want to say has got to be around 2004 or 5 in August. And I'd have to go back and look at the charts. All I remember is that the S&P was up like a couple of points every day. And it did that all the way from like the 10th, early in that August is the way I remember it. I'll have to go back and look at it one day. I mean, it went all the way up to about the 5th of September. Every day the volume was just atrocious. And then it all imploded. I mean, I think, as I remember it, like gave it all up. Everything over those 20 or so trading days, gave it all up in like 2 or 3 days, and then did a whole lot worse. That's the problem with light volume markets on the way up, and that is you tend to have a market that can have kind of those air pockets in there. Not that that does, but certainly when you have very light volume, you do want to be extra special in being a little bit careful in the markets that could come back at you. Okay, so let's look at some of those. Oh, we were going to talk about the biotechs, both giving, both big biotech stocks or ETFs giving signals that the market's fairly light. You had the December 3rd high at 111.60 with 2.3 million shares. Friday, you got into that with 1.7 million shares. Today, you just have a little higher high. It's still back in there, but just 780,000 shares. If we look at the XBI, actually even worse. This one spiked the December 4th high, $85.33, 9.11 million shares. 4 million shares on Friday. As you broke it, you went to a higher high reversal back into the trading range today. Any close below 85.33 gives you a signal that you should be out. Energy off this low on December 24th has not been all that exciting. And it may be that everybody is using the biotechs as their favorite punching bag for politics. And everybody's worried that there will be some kind of legislation and price fixing in that sector. So he looks at the IBB. Let's look at Intuit when I get around to it. This one's testing the October 3rd high. That's 231.84. You got to 234.21 today. But again, you need 1.6 million shares. You're doing about 665,000 shares. On Friday, you had a little more, 1.14 million shares, but still 30% light on a doji day today. Very little, nothing. Now, you're not closing below that 231.84, but you close below that again, and it is problematic. iRobot, this took off on earnings like a rocket. No one was looking for it, but now it's up against previous highs. Now, this one's a little bit better in the way that volume has come in, but you're still kind of a little short. You spiked it with almost enough volume on the 13th. Now you're getting up here with lighter and lighter volume. Not a bad-looking chart, but again, just slightly less than what you'd want to see with a sign of strength. The Russell 1000 growth ETF. Let's do this. Yeah, this is the growth share. Is hitting pretty major resistance levels of the November 7th high at 147 and the December 3rd high at 146.80. You had 4.4 million shares on that December 3rd high. It reversed instantly, gave it all up, back down to 121.71 on December 24th. Now we're back up to that level. A little over 1 million shares so far today. We had about just shy of 1 million on Friday. And again, it didn't matter whether you go to the November 7th high that had 1.8 million shares, or you go to the December 3rd high that had 4.42 million shares. Volume is light on this. And of course, the energy off that December 24th low was less. The Spider Banking shares, the KBE, this one is now hitting the December 3rd high. That was 44.98 with 3.4 million shares. Friday, 2.2 million shares. Today, you got 1 million shares so far going into that December 3rd high. Energy was significantly off from that December 26th low compared to the down leg off that December 3rd high. QID, do I have any? Oh, you can email me at path@TFNN, by the way. Let's do this one. I don't know why that has a bad tick in there. There we go. QID, which is the ultra short, back up against the December 3rd low. That was 38.99. You had 3 million shares. Last 3 days, you've had 2.5 million shares, 2.5 million shares today, getting back down into that low with 1.3 million shares. You are below that December 3rd low. But again, not a lot of energy. Actually, fairly decent looking chart if once you close back above the 38.99. ROP, which is Roper Industries, testing its previous high. That's the high of September 17th at $312. That had 1.4 million shares. Got into that candle on Friday with 350,000 shares. Today with 130,000 shares. So again, I mean, a lot of these stocks are up here on absolute light and incredibly light volume. Okay. The Rubicon project, RUBI, November 16th, $4.89, 732,000 shares, 356,000 shares on Friday. As we go into that high today at Doji with 196,000 shares, so fairly light. As we go into the break, Scott's Miracle-Gro, fairly interesting. Oh, I forgot to bring it up. There was an article out today showing that how many frauds there were in the marijuana space on the oils coming out of it. Government's finally getting involved. I thought it was interesting. When we come back, we'll look at Scott's Miracle-Gro, which is, I thought, probably the best bet in the marijuana space. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back. Take a quick look at the indexes. They're up 10 as we drift up slowly on very light volume, 4.36 billion shares on the consolidated CBOE volume for everything. Dollar index continues to a little bit better than it was when we looked at 96.36 off 38 cents. And of course, the big news probably today is the commodities. We're starting to see those things start to move. When we look at gold, it's up $20.80. Silver is up 22 cents. Platinum's up $14 and $14.80, and copper's up 7.5 cents. So we'll look at that. But that's it. Got a question in here. What did you think about gold? We talked about it last week, and it certainly looks like the metal itself is in that kind of seventh wave or last wave that you get in, or at least is described in an Elliott wave theory, and that is that it just kind of meanders up and goes higher, and you just kind of have to buy it, grit your teeth, and wait for the next move higher. You got that today. I mean, if you're in the GLD, it's a 2% move, so you're not going to retire on it. But it's one of these things where, if you want to hang on to it for a while, probably going to be slow and steady on the way up. And ask any question. Okay, stocks extend gains after Trump says March trade deadline is not a magical date. I never thought it was magical, but I guess you can look at it two ways. Glass half full or half empty. Market's pretty much saying glass is half full most of the time. Anyway, we're up 10 points, but again, not a lot of juice or volume at it. In fact, the NASDAQ was higher than this earlier. It's just up 22 on the moment. Anyway, I got an email here that's asking me about it, and I did. I think we brought this up last week in the newsletter. I'll have to go back and look. I know I talked about it with Larry Pesavento, but the sector oscillators basically came back down to support in the GDX. So I'll create one of those real quick and we can take a look at it. And let's zoom in on it so we can actually see here. These big bars are support resistance for people that don't subscribe to me. But basically what you got was the short and medium term coming right to the level where you find a lot of bounces in the market. And on Friday, you started getting the first part of that in the GDX and the GDXJ both. But both of those came exactly back to what could be considered a support area. And you have to take a look at actually buying that. That would have been on Thursday. Friday, you got, on Wednesday, Friday, you got a little bit of, or Thursday, you got a little bounce. Friday, it confirmed. But again, you're just going back up to these levels that are a little higher. We gapped through those today, though. Let's take a look at the GDXJ, because I don't think there's actually much difference in that one. But we shall see. Kind of the same thing. It went just a little deeper in the short, medium, and long term. But you'd already crossed the short term against the long term. So you were back in a bullish mode come Friday on that. And that's about it. You gapped over the previous high. You wanted something more than 10.2 million shares. You got 11 million shares already. So that's it. But yeah, there's probably not going to be a lot of, if this is a seventh wave and an Elliott wave, which you only can see in the rearview mirror, it's just one of these things where you have to kind of slowly schedule yourself in. But I think it's telling you a great deal, which is that, one, they're looking for a weaker dollar, and two, they think that there's going to be some level of inflation, and a lot of people want to get or are starting to park their money into commodities, thinking that that will be the good bet. SWI is the previous solar winds high back at $19.04. That's the December 13th high. 1.5 million shares got into it Friday with less than 400,000 shares today, 206,000 shares. There are just so many of these stocks out here that have come up on light energy now, light energy at the high. But we don't have a outstanding signal in the index, the broad indexes, let me put it that way, that's going on. Target not moving much on Walmart's move today, up a little bit. This gap down on the 20th of November that had 21 million shares getting challenged again by 4.7 million shares. Target kind of looks like the odd man out with Amazon and Walmart duking it out. Look at VGZ today. VGZ. Vista Gold, nice big spike out here, and actually holding most of that spike today and has a juice. So a nice move in that one today. TSN, Tyson Foods, back up. We talked about this one on Friday, September 13th, $5.33. Got into it October 19th with 20% less, more than 20%, maybe 25% less energy. Gave it up all the way down to 49.77, the December 26th low. Now we're back up into that 5 million share high. Tyson Foods, 2.2 million shares today so far, 3.2 million shares on Friday. So again, kind of range bound on this high side for the market. Let's see. 10.7 higher on the S&P cash. Dow's up 66. NASDAQ, if nothing's changed, make sure it's not broke. Oh, yeah, I need to update it. NASDAQ up 32. A little bit better than what I thought. Russell up 7.5. Okay, URI, which is United Rentals, came down on a big gap down. That gap down was on 9.4 million shares. That was on the 18th of October. Yeah, 9.4 million shares yesterday, or excuse me, on Friday you had 1.6 million shares. Today you just have about 1 million shares. So again, if we don't get a lot more juice in here before the end of the day, it's yet another push above these previous highs with light volume. VMware looks like one of the more vulnerable stocks. December 11th, 169.25, 4.2 million shares. Friday we had 1.2 million shares. So far today, 840,000 shares as we try to go through some of these highs. Energy was way off the January 3rd low up to this high again. Winnebago, hardly knew you. Back up to its gap. We'll handle this in the last segment. We got another couple of stocks to look at. You can always email me at path@tfnn.com.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're going to finish up the show. We'll look at a couple of the big caps. Someone asked me what's going on in Apple. And I think ever since we had the big hint that Buffett was getting out, that we've been going sideways in Apple. Generally, when you're going sideways, one of two things is going on. You're either accumulating or you're distributing. And as far as Apple, I think a lot of people are going, okay, we're going to have to see probably something a lot more than we have now. I would not be surprised to see this come back to about 158, 157, somewhere in that area is where support lands. But there's always going to be the specter that Buffett's going to be selling the rest of his shares, and he's distributing it out there. In fact, generally anytime a market moves higher, people wanting to get out, you always have to worry about those folks. Anyway, we'll look at Microsoft too and how it's doing on the day. Again, just back up to the gap down on the 14th of December on Microsoft. You had 47 million shares that day. Today, you got about 11.8 million shares. You had 26 million shares on Friday, so it was much better going into that 47 million share high, but still far short today, very short. Again, Microsoft, one of the weakest legs up off that December 26th low. So, if we get any kind of pullback in the markets, I do suspect that $99 range is open on Microsoft, and a pullback on light volume is where you would want to go ahead and take a look at Microsoft if you're thinking bullish, maybe for springtime. But kind of a quiet day out here. We're up 11 points on the S&P cash. Volume on the comments from the president didn't seem to really drive a lot of volume. We still just have 4.5 billion shares on the day. So a fairly quiet day, quiet mood. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.